afternoon. Welcome. Well, what a CricketOMania this is going to be. A historic win against South Africa, beating all statistical pundits and commentators and a whole bunch of others, but not Ayaz, who had predicted it.
Absolutely.
In some ways.
Yes, yes.
In some ways, if not entirely. Chandresh Narayanan here and Suresh Menon also going to join us. After all, sir, his favourite Sachin Tendulkar was also in the Melbourne cricket ground. A selfie which may have led to, in some way, contributed to the win.
Everything that Sachin does helps India win.
Helps India win. Okay.
Some way or the other. So there he is.
Okay. Suresh, your first take on why India won.
We won because the cracker box was shown in the hands of the South Africans in that ad just before the match. So immediately I thought, thankfully our Indian boys are not holding the cracker box. The cracker box was held by South Africans. They said Mauka, Mauka. But I guess they lost their Mauka over here and they lost. But apart from superstition, I think we really batted well. And that's why we won.
Right. Okay. Great. So, Ayaz, let's go. Let's look at the. I mean, we're going to finally count down to the heroes and zeros of this match, for which we've asked you to give us your feedback, and we've got some interesting numbers. Maybe one or two heroes and hero and zero are predictable, but some of them may not be. So, let's first go with the Indian batting. Ayaz.
So look, I think overall it's a very comprehensive win. So the batting obviously shone again, and I think there's a strategy which has emerged. Everybody was critical of Dhoni in the first match against Pakistan. Hey, we are so good at chasing, why are you batting first? I think what's becoming clear is that chasing under lights in Australian conditions is not the best thing to do. You're better off putting up a decent total and putting pressure on the team batting second, because it gets a little difficult to bat under lights. Second thing, I think India have shown in the first two matches against Pakistan, against South Africa, these were high pressure games, very high pressure games for different reasons. And they've been able to absorb the pressure well, not just absorb it well, but actually play better. South Africa, on the other hand, struggled against Zimbabwe and collapsed against India. So it seems like the C word is haunting them again. By that I mean the choker's tag.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Chandresh, quickly.
I think Ajinkya Rahane's knock for me stood out. In my view, I think he was the real star for India with the bat. 79 of pretty quick time, and
he did what Raina had done in the earlier.
Absolutely right, absolutely, absolutely. And so in a way, the pattern of this match was exactly similar to the Pakistan match in the sense that we started off well, we reached a crescendo, and then again we tapered off in the end overs. But I think overall perfect win. I think something happens to India in ICC tournaments. We've lost just 3 matches in the last 4 ICC tournaments.
Right.
So something obviously is in the air when the ICC tournament starts.
Right. Okay. So we'll come to Shikhar Dhawan obviously in a moment. Who else stood out for you, Ayaz?
I think, look, crucial knock played by Kohli because he needed a partnership going. Rohit Sharma unfortunately got run out. He mentioned Ajinkya Rahane, and I think he's been the understated guy in the Indian team. He's not a big star like a Kohli or a Rohit or some of the others, or Dhoni certainly. But every time he goes out to bat, he does something, or he does something in the field. So he's a very committed player. He's got a great sense of timing, and I think today he was, because Raina flopped in a sense. He was trying to get quick runs. It was incumbent that somebody else get it, and Ajinkya got them for you, the runs.
Okay, so we also have to point out that there are many statistics created, right? I mean, the number of runs scored, the number of runs given away. Shikhar Dhawan's 137 being, of course, his highest against South Africa.
I think the coming good of Shikhar Dhawan to me is the story of India's performance so far in the 2 matches. He made a half century in the first match. I think he was a little out of sorts, a bit technically, but more temperamentally, and he's been able to put mind over matter.
Okay.
In the coming, he was on the verge of being dropped.
Yes.
So for him to come back, it shows good self-belief, but even more, I think it reflects very well on Dhoni to have faith in a guy who is trusted for 2 years, given him 50-60 games. He's not going to dump him so easily, and he's repaying that faith.
So, Suresh, we're going sequentially, as you know. So, India batting, what stood out for you, or what stood out while they were batting, if anything?
I think Shikhar Dhawan just staying there at the wicket, and I didn't expect him to stay there for such a long time. It was scary for a moment when Dale Steyn really rushing, steaming in, and after losing Rohit Sharma run out, I thought the confidence had sort of jittered for a little bit. But I thought if he stays in the wicket for a long time, and Kohli being Kohli, if they could just stitch together a partnership, which happened beautifully, Honestly, I'm the last person to be commenting on cricket. I should be cracking jokes on it. But yes, every match I do keep my fingers, legs, ears, everything crossed and sort of, pray that we win. And today was a different day. I was traveling up and down, but I was very, very thrilled to see Shikhar Dhawan staying there. And Ajinkya Rahane, I think he's Mumbai's true batsman, Khadus batsman that you call. He doesn't give his wicket normally very easily, but of course there are some rash moments where he's tried something different. But today he just stood there. I wished Raina also stood there. If Rohit Sharma had batted today, I thought it was a wicket which suited his style, and he perhaps would have scored. We'd have been looking at some 360 odd runs today. But yeah, we won, so I'm very happy, and kudos to Dhoni for that little cameo in the end also.
So Suresh, suppose you had kept your ears open and had to hear the conversation between Shikhar Dhawan and Virat Kohli, how would it be going? What do you think they were telling each other?
यार तू कहीं मत जाना, बोले मैं ये करूं, छोड़ना नहीं, मैदान छोड़ के भागना नहीं।
अरे यार
कहाँ भाग रहा था मुझे पता नहीं, तू छोड़ना नहीं, मुझे राउंड अप मत करना, मुझे सेंस मारनी।
बहुत बड़ी सैनिटाइज्ड लैंग्वेज आपने यूज की है।
या रोस्ट के बाद मैं थोड़ा टोस्ट बन गया।
So, Suresh, so the other thing is, of course, we have to give some credit to Sachin, who was there, right? So, how would he have perhaps said? I mean, of course, there was this famous selfie which was also tweeted by God. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that. In fact, the shirt that I'm wearing is slightest pink in color, which he was wearing in the morning. So I'm going to be recording my views very soon now, dressed like Sachin very soon. But this shirt was carried only because Sachin was there. And what really thrilled me was as soon as his face was seen on the big screen out there, everybody started shouting, Sachin, Sachin. So I think the victory was a foregone conclusion with the crowd really getting behind Sachin at that time. Shouldn't be so biased, but I'm a huge Sachin fan and also a Sachin follower, and I think
definitely India went and got it today, and we are very fortunate that we won the match against South Africa. अब पटाखे नहीं फोड़ना, मुझे box को भी देखना नहीं है. I don't think we should use the box in any more things against West Indies or anything, because we have broken the jinx, and let us win, Ray.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so that's Suresh selecting the top batsmen, and of course Sachin's godly presence at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So let's move on. As we go down the line, Ayaz. I mean, what are the other things that stood out? Indian batting.
Well, look, I think they're getting partnerships, which is important. You had a partnership between Dhawan and Kohli, and then of course Dhawan and Ajinkya Rahane. So you need. What we have lacked perhaps is a very strong finish towards the end. I thought Mahendra Singh Dhoni looked good today to finish with a flourish. It didn't happen. I mean, but I think they're meeting their target. I think they've settled for a score of 300 plus, and they believe, they have faith that they can defend this score because the bowling is shaping up well. The fielding is looking brilliant to get 2 South Africans run out and take all those catches. While on the other hand, the South Africans actually dropped 3 catches. Shows what pressure can do.
And the interesting thing is that the team didn't. I mean, after the first wicket fell for India, there was a sense of calmness, which I think a lot of others have referred to as well. That the Indian team was sort of holding on. I mean, it didn't look like they were.
This is what I think the virtue of playing together and being together for a long while. I mean, we've been.
Which was perhaps missing earlier.
We've been critical about the team which has not been doing well in Australia in the Test series and the Tri-series, but come the moment, come the occasion, there's always a better chance of guys who've been around for long in similar situations earlier to cope with it, rather than 2 freshers who may be struggling as in the business of communication. So that which is happening, say, with West Indies and Pakistan. They're suddenly flush with new players and who don't know each other enough.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to come to the batting, the West Indies, the South Africa batting in a moment. Chandresh, tell me anything that you want to pick up down the second half of the batting order?
Second half of the batting order, I think there's still scope for someone like a Dhoni. Like today, he got into his groove. I think if we finish well against, say, the UAE and the other matches are going to be lesser matches for us, less of a challenge. So I think there's an opportunity for us to look at finishing.
Hopefully against UAE, Dhoni won't have to bat. Or
he bats higher up the order just to get some match time. And we finish on a very strong note. That will be a big boost for India going into the quarterfinal, because the real World Cup starts from March 18th.
Right.
till then we are just warming up in a way for the big one.
Right. Okay. So tell me something. I mean, this match against South Africa, what does it mean for either or India and South Africa, one having won, the other having lost, in terms of what it's adding up for the quarterfinals?
In terms of quarterfinals for us, for India, it means that they have an opportunity to finish at the top of the table and look at playing the 4th ranked side in the other group, which could well be Bangladesh if England don't manage to get their act together. That could be a boon in disguise for us going into the quarterfinals and then thereafter making it to the semi-finals.
The more pragmatic way of looking at it is gives you room to maneuver.
Right.
Where actually you want to finish.
Right.
You know, depending on how the other pool is doing.
Right. Yeah. And I think Pakistan is the only team which is in serious trouble there.
Pakistan seems to have got a kiss of life today, seeing South Africa crumble like this. So they haven't looked half as bad as South Africa against India.
Correct. Yeah.
And they feel that they might actually have a chance to beat South Africa.
You know, actually, someone was saying
So
that
this pool
South
is
Africa almost went the Pakistan way.
Worse.
Worse.
Today,
Okay.
worse.
Right. Suresh, let me come back to you before we move on to the South African batting. Anything else that you spotted which was interesting? Something you took away from the match, if at all you did?
Actually, I just, I was tweeting continuously that 12 minutes the next wicket will go, in 20 minutes one wicket will go, and all my tweets were actually well lapped up by my followers, and it actually came true. So a lot of people actually asked me whether I'm fixing matches or anything like that, something like that, but I wasn't. It was just my sort of lucky, I wouldn't say lucky, but more, I mean, because, you know, all of us have played cricket and we know sort of when a wicket is going to go. And fortunately, I was spot on, and a lot of people called me the oracle and all that stuff, which I'm very happy. In Malayalam, it means vulture-pad. And I hope that I remain a vulture-pad till India takes the cup, which I feel Dhoni is very keen on finishing off in a very high note.
Right. As you can, of course, while Suresh was talking, we have the picture of Sachin taking that selfie, which is also tweeted by God, if in case you didn't get it, just showing alongside. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is the South African batting.
World Cup match he's seeing as a spectator.
Yeah.
Since 87.
Since 1987.
Right.
You know, he was a ball boy then, now he is a tall boy.
Yeah.
In the world of cricket.
Ayaz also at his best. Ayaz has been, by the way, on doing the commentary since from 3 a.m.
You are graveyard shift. Don't remind me.
Yeah. So Ayaz is also can be found on Star doing commentary, but from hours which I don't think any of us can ever even.
Unearthly hours is all I can say.
Hours. Okay, let's go on to the South African batting. So let's pick up.
So I think the South African batting went into disarray very quickly. I mean, you know, the opening partnership didn't last. I think getting rid of Hashim Amla was a big wicket for India, because it brought De Villiers, Dumini and Miller into the action much earlier than they would have expected.
Right. Yeah.
These are big wickets.
And there's a big stat which was floating around, right? If Amla scores less than 50, then South Africa is in trouble.
Yeah.
Or wherever he scored more than 50, then they won.
But to me, the turning points with the South Africans, there were two of them, were getting De Villiers and Miller run out. Both these are explosive batsmen. We know what they're capable of, and they just get better and better if they stay longer and longer at in the middle. So and that's really credit to the Indian fielding. I thought that the Indians were superb in the field today.
Right, and we had two stunning runouts.
And both very quick between wickets.
And leg before wickets.
I don't know how often he's got run out.
Very little time, and De Villiers got run out in Champions Trophy in 2013 against India, and that was Jadeja who did it. This time it was Mohit Sharma. So
both times India won.
Both times India won. So you imagine the impact that he has on a South Africa innings.
Right, so great fielding. Suresh, we're talking about South African batting now. Anything that stood out for you?
Yes, I think Kamla's wicket, I didn't expect him to go out so easily. I mean, I didn't think he would hook that ball. I mean, it was a brilliant trap set by our Indian team. And I actually started laughing when that happened, because till that time he was playing it well and he was playing each and every ball on his merit. Suddenly that rush of blood and boom, there he went. Once he went, I thought we'll win, but still AB, he can turn around a match anytime. And his run out was really, really wonderful to watch, because I just tweeted that India needs a wicket. 12 minutes from now, AB de Villiers, I tweeted saying that AB de Villiers, like Kamla, in the Kamla voice, I said, AB de Villiers, I'm waiting for your AH Villiers, charge get 10 minutes mein aaja. And exactly that was out. So,
but you know, Govind, interestingly, I mean, I'm just taking up for what Suresh mentioned about Hashim Amla, the trap set for him. You know, sport is so often a battle of egos.
Yeah.
The South Africans realized that they were chasing 300. They would have thought that they would keep India to 250 or something, and then they had to go out, you know, and show that they were better, one up on the Indians as far as batting was concerned. And when you go into that frame of mind, you know, you can end up with egg on your face. This is exactly what happened with South Africa today.
Right. So where did the? I mean, you know, the other thing I know. I mean, everyone noticed, Ayaz, is that the stadium was predominantly Indian supporters.
Yeah, Melbourne is now part of India.
Melbourne is a part
like
of
Adelaide.
Or like Perth will be next week.
Like Perth will be next week. So you think that has an impact?
Oh, huge impact. I mean, test matches, the biggest complaint I've heard from players is that when they play to empty stands, the incentive is lost. You know, somewhere the edge is not there. Because as a performing artist, and Suresh will bear me out, if there's no audience, there's something missing. And when you have home support, when you go out into the Melbourne cricket ground, 90,000 spectators, of whom 60,000 are Indians, you know, you could be playing in Ranchi or Mumbai or somewhere else in India. And
Suresh?
It's a big high.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were saying something. Okay, no, did you notice the 86,000 something people in Melbourne? How could they get so many people, Indians, into Melbourne, into that stadium? Did you wonder?
Yes, I was wondering how many Malayalis would be there also. So and they are thinking it's a great football match.
So, but Suresh, I think the Malayalis would be there if the match was in Dubai, not in Melbourne.
No, but you know,
Malayalis are everywhere.
Indians have crawled out from all over the world, wherever they are in the woodwork. And they've gone to Australia.
Right.
A lot of people from Singapore, from the US, from England, from
and
the
of
Gulf,
course from India as well.
And of course from
right.
India.
Okay. So let's look at the bowling. Right. So what stood out, Ayaz, or who stood out rather? Who are the two people?
So I think the big plus point for me today was the bowling of Ravichandran Ashwin. Again, he's been under a bit of, no, I wouldn't say as much of a cloud as Shikhar Dhawan, but you know, is he bowling the right line? Can he take stick? Will he get hit all over the park? His fielding might come in the way and stuff like that. I think from Dhoni's point of view or from India's game plan point of view, Ashwin is very, very crucial because he's got a fantastic record in ODIs. He's got the experience, and if he comes good, you also have an extra batsman. So Shami was sharp as he was in the first match. Mohit was consistent as he was in the first match. Umesh Yadav perhaps needs a couple of wickets to pump up his self-confidence.
Maybe less runs.
But what has happened in these two matches, Dhoni's options have increased. He's got Bhuvneshwar Kumar sitting outside who he can always go back to.
Right.
You know, Akshar Patel who he can always go back to. The Indian attack, which looked beleaguered before the World Cup started, is now looking, you know, fantastic.
Okay, great. So we're also sort of running out of time, so we want to put everything as quickly in as possible. Heroes and zeros is coming up shortly. Suresh, anything from the bowling side? Anything exciting you noticed?
Shami, of course, and of course Ravichandran Ashwin, who I thought is a great competition for me because in between he became a mimicry artist instead of being a bowler. He started imitating Sunil Narayanan on field and all that stuff. But glad to see him back, and with his height, I hope that he does even better in the coming matches now.
Okay, great. So as we move on, let's start picking up the heroes and zeros. Ayaz, do you want to start with the zeros first?
Zeros, well, I think I would actually put De Villiers as a zero today.
Okay.
Though he made 30 odd, whatever he made, I think he got a lot of things wrong, including the approach of the South Africans. They just kind of thought they would overwhelm India, which didn't happen. And he couldn't change tactics. You know, he didn't have that bandwidth to do something different. I thought his field placings were a little odd. You know, and I think the South African bowlers suffered because of his field placings.
Okay, you're close to what the audience pick is, but Chandresh?
I will go with Wayne Parnell because I think once
gave away too many runs.
Gave away too many runs, and once one on Philander got
85
injured.
runs.
Yeah, one on Philander got injured. They needed somebody to step up to back Dale Steyn. He just didn't do that, and that's where I think they lost the
but
complete.
I thought Parnell didn't get enough support from his captain.
Yeah,
kind of feel he said, and you know, when he went and spoke to him, you saw 3 short balls in a row, which were hit all over the park. I mean, you know.
I think for me, I think for today, I think he came close to being the zero of the day or the zero, the villain of the day.
Okay, so we'll tell you what the audience pick is. Suresh, you have a zero of the day.
Rohit Sharma for trying that really suicidal single when he thought it was not AB de Villiers but it was Rajpal Yadav fielding there perhaps.
Okay. So zero of the day, audience feedback. I mean, Ayaz, of course, as you know, if you've been following the show, gets the major vote. But Quinton de Kock is the villain with 43%.
Poor chap, 21 years old.
Yeah, AB de Villiers is at 29%. So
not bad, yeah.
Not bad, yeah.
Quinton de Kock also, because the last 3 times he played India, he scored 300s.
Yeah.
So everybody was hoping
and who's the hero?
Yeah, we'll come to that. Okay. So okay, Suresh, let's begin with
multiple
you.
choices.
Who's your hero?
My hero is for the day
Yes.
Sachin Tendulkar for being on the field, on the ground. Definitely Sachin.
Okay, we'll come back to you for a close on that, Ayaz.
No, where selfies are concerned, Sachin wins hands down.
Yeah.
But I think I would give it to Shikhar Dhawan.
Okay.
You know, I just think he played a superb knock. And
actually, I'm looking at the audience feedback. It's interesting who the second person is. Let's see if you can get that.
For me,
yeah, the second hero
is Dhoni.
Okay.
The hero for me is Shikhar Dhawan, obviously, and the second person would be Ashwin for the way he bowled.
Okay, great. So let's look at the audience feedback. The second hero is MS Dhoni, right? And the first one, of course, not surprisingly, is Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't ask about Sachin Tendulkar because at that time we didn't include it in the questions. But had we included it, maybe he would have turned up as the hero.
Sachin is god of cricket, so he is omniscient. Whether you choose him or not, he is always there.
There you are.
There you are.
Dark glasses. And selfie. I wonder
so it was not just Sachin, even Kumble was there. So
Kumble was there because
So you had two Indian greats. In fact, Kumble went on to the field and Sachin was there on the stand.
India captain Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly and Kumble all at the MCG.
Right, and Kumble and Ganguly were obviously on the commentator box.
No, Kumble is there as an invitee of the ICC because he's been inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame.
Right. Okay, so what's the next match that we're looking out for?
So now India plays the next weekend, which is against
UAE.
The West Indies, I thought.
No, I think it's UAE.
Or whichever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think right now Indians will be secure that they are in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I think Dhoni, you might hear from him tomorrow or today that they need some rest and recreation.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's been advocating all the while. So yeah, I think.
So 1 week's recreation and.
I think these matches now against the smaller teams, you just go there, try out your players who have not played, and boost your run rate.
Right. Okay. A quick this thing. We're going to show you the moment of the day, which I think we showed you earlier, but let's show it to you again. Right, so there you are, the team.
Team India.
Team India looking ecstatic. The men in blue looking ecstatic.
One thing you'll notice is that the team's been pretty solid in the sense that we have had the same players in the last 2 years, and as he keeps mentioning, the continuity factor has been a big factor in India doing well in all ICC tournaments.
Right. Okay. So Suresh, what are you looking out for? It's India versus UAE, as Chandresh, our resident statistician, says. So.
Thankfully, no Malayalis in the team, so the chance of losing against UAE is very less.
Suresh, there is a Malayali from Kerala.
Chandran.
Yeah, his surname is Karate. So something for you to look forward to.
In the Dubai team, thankfully, Indian team, there are no Malayalis, so we won't be losing against them at least. So naukri chala jayega.
Okay, right. So any last words from Sachin, Suresh, before we close?
Yes, sir, definitely. I just want to tell that against UAE, go and enjoy, and also make sure that you get all the addresses of all the party place in Dubai. Enjoy yourself, have a great match, and try to be good with those boys. Don't defeat them very harshly. Okay? Go get it.
Okay, thank you for that, Suresh. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ayaz. Thank you, Chandresh. We're going to go off now and be back during next week for the next round of CricketOMania. Stay tuned and do send us your feedback for the heroes and zeros. Thanks for watching.